Do your friends, family, and community understand what you're going through? It really sounds like they didn't understand when you were at home. Do they understand now?
Not really. I know that. So with the work that I'm doing with Narcotics Anonymous, so we go into areas like Kailicha, starting up support groups for people that are struggling with addiction, and people don't really understand what addiction is. They just, like I said, people that are struggling with addiction are just seen as like people who are just morally deficient, who just don't want to live responsibly, who just, and there's really not a lot of understanding, and the lack of understanding means that there's not enough support for people who need help, in these areas. So a lot of them end up in jails or killing themselves, basically. And that's why there's like also this huge problem of crime, because people are struggling with this thing they constantly have this obsession of using drugs, and you can't commit to a job, to be able to support the habit. So the next best thing would be to commit crimes. And I think if there was enough awareness, and I think if the government also sort of gave us enough support as well, that it would help in eradicating a lot of other problems that are brought on by this. We're not all bad people.
What's been the biggest challenge so far in your recovery?
The biggest challenge for me in my recovery, I would say, is rebuilding the relationships with people that I care for, and sort of making them understand that this is an illness that and still also identifying myself as an addict, but a recovering addict, and people, I don't know, people just don't really understand that. Once you say you're an addict, then there's already this like stigma, and you're judged, and it's gonna take a long time for that to change, because yes, there is recovery for people like us, and we do go on to do amazing things when we get help and support.
Now you're doing a lot to change that stigma and raise awareness around recovery and addiction, and I know you're doing a walk ahead of the Recovery Film Festival this weekend. Can you tell me about that walk?
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. This is going to be my first opportunity to take part in the recovery walk. So we're walking to celebrate a recovery from active addiction, and we're also walking to sort of do away with that stigma that addicts are just those people that that are just messed up, and so we're doing a really peaceful walk to celebrate our lives in recovery. And then there's a film festival which will be taking place at the Labia Theatre from the 22nd to the 25th of September, and there's like on average about 5-6 films screening each day, and they're all around mental issues and recovery and addiction. So it's not only for people that are addicts to come and see the movies. It would be really, really awesome if just people in the general community could also come and see, so they could that awareness thing that I'm talking about, it will shed like a light on what it is to live the way that we are living, and to make the changes, to reintegrate into society and become a useful member of society again.
If South Africans could take one thing away from the film festival and from this interview when it comes to recovery and addiction, what would that one thing be for you?
That recovery is possible, and that no addict or any person suffering from a mental illness needs to die from this disease. It doesn't have to be that way, because I spent almost 10 years of my life believing that it doesn't have to be that way. There is help, there is support, and there is hope, and those people that you see struggling from this disease, they're not just messed up people. They're sick people. They are struggling. They want to stop. They just don't know how to.